When I log into the application, I'm going to be logged into a company, and I'm going to be assigned a role. So multi-company processing within Business Central, no additional licensing costs for this. You can set up as many companies as you want. You can then configure intercompany relationships between the companies that you set up. Those are at a GL perspective, but they also can be in an arm length perspective. Let's say sister companies, if you want to process purchase orders and sales orders between companies. So not just a GL touch point with multi-company. Again, we can do the full distribution applications, including actually inventory items. So full multi-company capabilities, but I'm going to be logged into a company and I'm going to be assigned a role. And the design intention behind the Role Center is that this initial landing page is where I should be able to access and perform most of my job functions. So I'm just going to open up here and go to My Settings. You do have the ability to change your role. Role and security are mutually exclusive. They don't have anything to do with each other. Again, a role is just going to dictate the initial landing page. Here's some examples of an initial set of role centers that are delivered with the application. We can help you, or you could actually create new role centers, can modify role centers, etc. I really encourage my clients to really assess how they use the role center during implementation. What I found is user satisfaction, user adoption goes way up if we spend a little bit of time tailoring the role center to fit your organization's needs. What user functionality you've implemented, stuff that you're not, we can get other things off of the page, put stuff on the page, et cetera, to make it applicable to your implementation. What I want to do is just look at the design elements of the role center, knowing that based on your role center, they can change, and you actually can change them. So if I come up here and say personalize, end users do have the ability, given security rights, to move menus, change menus, to remove queues, et cetera. So this can be really tailored to, again, your specific requirements, either as an end user or as your organization desires. Across the top, though, is a two-click menu system. So in this example, I got finance, chart of accounts, cash management, bank accounts. So it's not a cascading menu, it's a very simple, clean menu system. Next area is a set of bookmarks, and users can determine what pages, what reports, et cetera, they want to bookmark on their role center. So if I go to my customers list, for example, over here on the right, you'll notice that I have a bookmark icon. Click the bookmark, it's going to show up on my role center. Uncheck it, it's going to come off. So users can maintain their own list of bookmarks. Actions menu is really just intended to be a shortcut for typically processing transactions, although there are some reports and there's some setup features that sometimes get on this actions menu, but primarily it's designed to be quick access to create transactions. Next section is an activity section. And these are what we call queues. And queues can set up that would allow me to, let's say, monitor a total of something. So sales this month. On the accounting role center, I've got cash balance. So just a balance or some sort of calculation I can use them for. I can look at a filtered list of transactions. So this is sales invoices that are past due. This is purchase invoices that are past due. It could be a subset of transactions for my user. So my user tasks, my approvals, for example, are just specific transactions for me to review. So they're filtered based on my user. It could be a calculation. So every day to collect AR, for example. The idea behind the queue is this is a live number. So again, I'm monitoring things that are happening in the organization, and I can use it for navigation. So overdue sales invoices, if I click on that balance, I'm going to be presented a list of, in this case, overdue sales invoices, because that's what the queue is used for. As I look at other role centers around warehouse operations, there's a specific queue for sales orders that are ready to ship, sales orders that are delayed shipment, partially shipped sales orders. On the purchasing side, we have expected PO receipts. On the project management dashboard or the project management role center, we have the ability for a project manager to look at actual budgets for their projects, see what's over budget, under budget, be able to look at what billing is outstanding, for example. So that's the idea behind the role center in the queues. Live numbers helps me monitor and helps me process transactions. Just want to point out this queue right here, which is sales invoices predicted to be overdue. So when we start talking about the larger stack of applications or the larger feature set from Microsoft, this is an example of artificial intelligence that has been integrated into Business Central. So Microsoft has been developing for artificial intelligence technology for 10, 12 years. And it's at various levels within Azure. You can go out, you can build environments, et cetera. But Microsoft is now integrating that technology into their business applications. And this is an example of where it's been integrated into Business Central. So what this queue is doing is it's actually analyzing my accounts receivable transactions prior to them actually being past due. Now my dates are a little weird because I've got demo data here, but prior to a transaction being past due, it's looking at what's the likelihood, or answering the question, what's the likelihood that the customer is going to be paying this transaction late? So what we see with artificial intelligence technology is the ability to make proactive business decisions using this information, using this data set. So you think typically, AR, after a transaction's past due, maybe you wait 30 days, maybe you wait 45 days, I don't know, whatever your cycle might be, you start the collections process. Well, think about being able to start the collections process at the point of entering a transaction if the likelihood that is that the customer is going to pay it late. So you think about being able to help run your business, making better business decisions using artificial intelligence technology. This queue, you just enable it. There's nothing you have to set up in Azure. I don't have to build a model. I don't have to do any of this complex calculations around artificial intelligence. I can just turn on the queue. Now, if you want to enable your Azure environment and you want to tweak the way that the AI engine is working and how it's analyzing this data, you certainly can do that in Azure. So the ability for you to make changes to the calculation and the way that AI is working, certainly available to you, but you do not need to do that to leverage this technology.